Hello, everyone. We are so excited for you to be here for our inaugural Demo Day showcase. I'm Peter Darrow. I've been a founder and investor in the wellness and tech space over the last 10 years, and I'm currently managing partner of Happy Wellness Group. We have several other partners here on this call who can be identified with their blue background. If they want to just wave or say hello, really appreciate everyone being here. Happy Wellness brings over 40 years combined of Wall Street and startup experience. We are an investment group and advisory focused on the wellness space broadly and run the venture arm of Craft Capital, a boutique investment bank here in New York, which has brought hundreds of companies public. Our goal is to leverage our domain expertise and ecosystem to drive you to a successful exit. We also manage a syndicate composed of angels, VCs, and family offices that we work with on projects. And it's great to see so many familiar faces on this call today. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. And if you want to get involved in our platform, please fill it out. If you're an investor, we offer access to exclusive deal flow, co-investment opportunities, exit strategies, and private events that we host for our community. If you're a founder, we can support your capital raise and leverage our platform to help you scale and grow, as well as deploy your capital efficiently and intelligently. Ultimately, our objective is to de-risk your company. And if you're a strategic partner or service provider, we can offer referrals and partnership opportunities. So, okay, now switching gears to the fun stuff, you're in for a real treat. We have 10 emerging and disruptive brands that are going to be pitching today with over $10,000 worth of prizes up for grabs. This is going to be a high octane, fast paced Shark Tank style event, and you are the shark. So, the way this is going to work is each founder will have no more than 3 minutes, and I will be giving a 1 minute warning and cutting people off to pitch their idea. We have a VIP investor panel who will have 2 minutes for questions. Then everyone in the audience votes. So a screen is going to pop up asking 2 questions. Rate this pitch from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, and second, if you would like an introduction to the founder. Introductions are not limited to investors. If you believe you can add value to the company strategically or otherwise, you are more than welcome to request an intro. The investor panel makes up 50% of the overall score, and the audience makes up the other 50%. We won't be announcing the winners today, since we will have to tabulate the responses, but we'll be announcing them in the coming days. Everyone cool with the instructions? If you have any issues, our team will be monitoring the chat feature, but we kindly ask everyone to remain on mute. Before we introduce our investor panel, I just want to thank our generous sponsors, the Well Network, the premier CPG community, Go Accountants, your partner for entity setup, tax advice, growth planning, and exit strategy. Go Accountants supports entrepreneurs at every stage. Rocket Design, empowering businesses with AI strategy that turns data into actionable growth. Intuitive CEO, an advisory and consulting platform for founders breaking ground in emerging industries. They specialize in helping first-to-market companies define their offer, sharpen their position, and accelerate growth. Moral Creative partners with emerging and scaling brands to build storytelling ecosystems that attract investors, win retail, and fuel long-term growth. And lastly, Bistro Advisory, a boutique advisory that helps brands thrive in an algorithm-shaped world with clarity and staying power. And we'll be sending more info out after Demo Day. So with that being said, I want to turn it over to our investor panel to introduce themselves. Zoe, why don't you get us started? Tell us, please, about VHS.
Sure thing. Thank you, Peter. Hi, everybody. I'm Zoe Jakubowicz. I'm part of the investment team with VHS Ventures. I also run a consulting business as a fractional chief of staff. I partner with early stage CEOs as their operating partner, and later stage or scaling CEOs in interim leadership roles are to help them gain leverage. My experience is analytics, tech, operations, and business strategy, and I've worked with companies in beauty and retail like Tula Skincare, which was exited to Procter & Gamble, Nordstrom Trunk Club, and Walmart's Jet Black. My focus as an investor with the fund is health, beauty, and wellness, so I'm in the right place. For VHS Ventures, to give a little bit of context, we are an early stage consumer fund. We're about 2 years old. We invest in predominantly seed and Series A with some pre-seed investments as well. Our thesis is to really help build the consumer ecosystem. So we invest in brands and technology built for the end consumer, as well as infrastructure that supports those consumer brands and tech. Managing partner is Sumit Shah. He has over 15 years of experience in consumer investing and experience on the early teams with SwiftArc and Brand Foundry. Our investment team and advisory board are also all operators. We are currently raising our second fund. It will be $15 million total with check sizes between 250 and 500,000. And our first fund is deployed with 20 portfolio companies, mostly brands with some tech and infrastructure. So very excited to be here and to hear the wonderful pitches.
Thank you, Zoe. We're excited to have you. Adam of BAM Ventures.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me. Excited for the pitches and be here. I'm a principal on the investment team at BAM Ventures. We're based here in LA. A little over 10 years old. We're investing out of Fund 3 right now, about to close on Fund 4. We do any and everything consumer, which is really based in sort of the background of the two founders or the two partners, Brian Lee and Shameen Walsh. Shameen was the first investor in Sweetgreen, early Flexport investor, early Sir Kensington's investor. Brian is a serial entrepreneur and still an active entrepreneur. So his first business was LegalZoom. His next business was a company called ShoeDazzle, which was Kim Kardashian's first company. After ShoeDazzle, he was Jessica Alba's co-founder and CEO of the Honest Company, and he's currently running a company called Arena Club, which is in the trading card space. We define consumer broadly, so CPG, consumer tech, and then what we bucket as commerce enablement. So anything B2B selling into the consumer side of the portfolio, as well as anything B2B2C. Super early stage focused. Some of the stuff that we've done in the past: Honey, Away, Cotopaxi, NerdWallet. Hopefully a bunch of stuff that you guys have heard of, because if so, that means we've done an okay job. And yeah, super excited for the pitches today and to hear what everyone's up to.
Well, we're excited to have you. Thank you, Adam. And last but not least, Brandon Kaplan of Maxwell Holdings.
Thanks, Peter. Good to be here with everybody. Brandon Kaplan with Maxwell. I'm a 20-year operator, actually. So I'm an operator turned investor. I spent 20 years in the tech industry, started 3 different companies. I've successfully exited 2 of them. I spent about 10 years in the hardware manufacturing space, built a company there and sold it to a business over in Hong Kong. And then I spent the last 10 years building a emerging tech AI consulting firm. So working with Fortune 1000s, executive strategy, early discovery, and then building out early AI products for brands like Warner Music Group, HBO, Wall Street Journal, Harry Potter, the NBA. I exited that company a few years ago to a private equity group and started at that point angel investing into emerging health startups. I had an interesting little health scare when I was building that prior business. I was kind of going through some founder burnout early in the business around like 2017, 2018. And it led me to functional medicine. It led me to a more kind of homeopathic way of approaching things. And so when I sold the company, I had this feeling I needed to start investing into preventative health. So that's what led me to angel investing, and that's what's led me to Maxwell. Maxwell is a syndicate that focuses on what I call health span investing. And so we invest in early stage companies that are in the preventative health longevity space. So ranging from preventative biotech, health tech, AI and healthcare, doing quite a bit these days in the diagnostic space, and several investments in the non-toxic CPG space. So really focus on health, but lean into CPG as well, and really excited to be here.
Well, thanks, Brandon. Okay, The time has come, the moment we've all been waiting for. So we're going to kick things off with Scott's up first. And then Ian, if you could unspotlight us and spotlight the Scott's team. Give us 1 sec. Whenever you guys are ready.
Hello, I'm Lori. I'm co-founder and CEO of Scott's Protein Balls.
Hi, I'm Scott, co-founder and CFO.
Today, we're here to talk about our company. In 2017, literally out of nowhere, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was obviously the worst time of my life. It was terrible. I went through surgery and treatment and got through it. When I was done, I wanted to get into the best shape of my life. I went to a nutritionist and she was incredible. And she said, no more protein bars. She said they have sugar, soy, preservatives, nothing anybody should eat. So I went to, I came home, I complained to my husband, Scott. I needed a quick grab and go snack. And Scott came to the rescue, created this amazing product for me. It was a protein ball, plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, most importantly, fresh from the fridge. It was everything I wanted. Friends and family loved it. I loved it. And during COVID in 2020, I decided to launch it into a business. I went into a bagel store and then another. Presently now, I'm in over 200 retail locations and growing. 2024 was a great year for me and for Scott's. We went into a co-packer, distribution, 3PL. And in 2025, I went through a rebrand and a reformulation. We've learned that customers are snacking more, eating bigger meals less, shopping the outer aisles of the supermarket, and want clean food. I've proven the concept. I'm woman-owned, GLP-1 friendly, and I donate back a percentage of sales to Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
The next phase of our business is about margin improvement and revenue acceleration. We're looking to raise $1.5 million to help with these goals. We've already raised $275,000 of this in a safe, and last year we raised $380,000 in a pre-seed round valued at $1.5 million. We expect to do about $300,000 in revenue this year. The fundraiser is going to help with a few things. First, we're going to move to a new co-packer, which will add 20 to 30 points to our margin short term and up to 40 points long term. Second, we need to improve our marketing. We know our current LTV is about $83 and our CAC is around $60. This month, with a little help, our CAC is $11 on Amazon. So we're looking to add some marketing and operational expertise to help us with our target rollout in January. We expect the target rollout will add about $800,000 of revenue in 2026. The marketing operational expertise will help us better understand our store velocity and prepare us for a national rollout with other potential big box stores who we are deep in discussions with. We expect to reach break even late next year.
Today, we're looking for a partner with some experience in our space, for some strategic help, some funds. So please come on board and help us disrupt the snacking industry one protein ball at a time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Scott and Lori. We will we'll open it up here for 2 minutes to our investor panel.
Can you tell us about the label? So like protein content, calorie content, etc.
Sure.
Sure. The servings range from 170 calories to 190 calories. Protein runs from anywhere from 8 to 10 grams of protein per serving. And it's more portion controlled size because it's balls. You don't have to eat the whole entire bar, and you can eat more. It's meant for each person, and each person can decide what that serving actually is. We recommend 2 balls per serving.
And 170 to 190 per ball.
No, per serving.
Per serving. So for 2 balls.
Yeah.
With the first of all, disclaimer, I've met you all at a family office event, tried the product. It's a great product.
Thank you. Thank you.
With the money that you're raising, what do you anticipate the next 12 months you'll be able to reach in terms of storefront, distribution and revenue?
Sure. So we think we can get to about $5 million in revenue next year. We've got 800 or so of it already circled with Target. We think that's a relatively conservative estimate with them. It could be more. We're doing one DC's being rolled out in January. That's the Northeast. And they actually were going to do the rollout all in May. But then we got a phone call a few weeks back where they said, hey, we have some room in January. for one distribution center. You want to try it? We said, sure, let's take it. We're not going to say no. So we've got that going. So the rollout could be really, really big. We're also deep in discussions with another big box retailer that if that deal happens, that could be, I mean, they've said 2,000 stores, multiple SKUs, multiple boxes per week. So that one could be really, really big. That could be another $1 million on top of that alone. And we've really spent almost nothing on marketing online, like we saw this month just with Amazon being able to drop our CAC to $11 with a little bit of focused spending with somebody who knows what they're doing. The upside there's really tremendous upside out there.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Okay, now we're going to launch the scoring and the intro requests. So please go ahead and do that now. We'll give people 30 seconds. Do a little countdown here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. All right. Thank you, Lori and Scott. Ian, are we going to publish those or not?
Thank you, everyone.
There you go. All right. We're getting some real-time feedback here.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Lori and Scott. Next up is going to be Rook. Give us 1 second, Marco. We'll just we'll unspotlight the other folks.
Of course. All right. Well, nice to meet you all. How many of you have a wearable device? I think I saw a couple of you using an Apple Watch. Well, do you know this device or these devices are actual medical devices? Just recently, the FDA approved them to use as medical devices. Also, the government is pushing a lot to use all this information in hospitals, insurance environment, and also in the wellness space. So that, in theory, sounds really, really great, except if you are running an insurance app, a digital health app, a wellness app, a longevity. These devices, all of them, are a real nightmare for them. Two big problems. One, these companies, these applications, they need to integrate one by one. They need to integrate the Apple Watch, the Polar, the Garmin, all of them, and probably will take like 24 months just to integrate a couple of them. The second problem is between all the devices, each one speaks a different language. Every single one, it's like a nightmare. When you receive the data, you don't have real data. You have a lot of noise. Well, that's exactly what we solve. I am Marco Benitez. I am the CEO and co-founder of Rook. I have 18 years of experience in the health industry. This is my second startup, and this is what we are building. Here at Rook, we enable brands like insurance companies, like wellness apps or health apps to use and make sense of all the data from the wearables. We have an API solution. Our API is like a code. On our code, we have more than 400,000 of medical devices, data sources. So our client, instead of wasting 24 months to integrate everything, they only need 1 month to integrate our API, and immediately all the information will flow, very clear, clean, because we standardize, normalize, and harmonize all the information. Today, we have more than 60 clients. All of them are paying. We are towards 1 million in ARR. And today we are raising 1.5 million, which we already have 1.3 million already wired. And we are just looking for the last 200. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marco. Questions from the panel?
You mentioned your 60 clients. Are those are they predominantly insurance companies? How does it split between that and wellness apps?
Yeah, that's a very good question. At the very beginning, we started with the fitness and wellness industry because what was the low-hanging fruit. We saw a huge penetration over there. but the market is not so big as we have it with insurance and in the digital health space. More or less, we have 40% are in the, well, 60% it's fitness and wellness. The other 40% is 20 in the digital health and the other 20 insurance companies.
Got it. Thank you.
I'll say in ingesting health data from smart devices, from what I've seen, it's becoming one of the fastest and most competitive segments. So ingesting that data is getting easier every day with different AI and MCPs and different APIs that are available. So, 6, 12, 18 months out, what is defensible about the business with so much competition coming for the same market share and it becoming easier to ingest that data?
Yeah, the first step was to integrate different devices. Again, we have a lot of medical devices, we have insurance. So you have to, first of all, to create a partnership with that specific wearable or data source. You have to go through different certifications. So it's not that easy. It's not like take an API, public API, I integrate everything. You have to do so many things, which is still people to people talking. And then you have access to that information because you have to be certified in different type of things. Further down the road, definitely, if everything goes more easy for everyone, which is, I think, is the best way to move forward. Now is the language, is to start to standardize and normalize all the information, which is our second layer. That's where we are building a lot of our stuff. So we are investing a lot on the data side. And the reason is because the next step is to build these AI tools, build in correlations, all the data that we are seeing today. It's like, just to give you like an idea, we are receiving 60 millions of data sets every single month. So that allows us to now make correlations with our clients so we can make predictive activities with our clients. So now they can give this type of insights with the end users. So it's like too many phases that we are, and we have this step.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks, Marco. Ian, we're going to launch the scoring now and the intro requests. Give it like 20 seconds. I'll do a little countdown and then we can take it down. I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Thank you, Marco. Appreciate it. Great job. All right. Next up, we have Esker Beauty.
I'm just going to screen share. Side by side. How's that working for you?
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Shannon. I'm an ex-trend forecaster. I spent 12 years consulting with brands. I'm a certified aromatherapist and a mom of 3.
And I'm Greg Foley, her co-founder. I have 30 years of experience with design and branding. Together, we build products that people actually adopt, and we make them iconic.
The gap that we've identified is the bridge between beauty and wellness. Basic hygiene is cheap and wellness is premium, and the bathroom in between has no leader. Consumers want better skin and they want a calmer nervous system in the 10 minutes they already spend in the shower. We turn that window into a repeatable ritual. Our hero product is our patent-pending body plane. It's a smooth stainless steel edged tool that gently lifts skin off after washing. It's quick, it's effective, it's visually satisfying, and it's great for virality and word of mouth. We pair it together with products like our shower steamers, our bath additives, clean body oils and washes, and that gives us margin from our tool products and retention from replenishment. This year, we have pivoted hard towards profitability and away from cash-intensive wholesale. As a result, our D2C is up 45% year over year. Amazon is up 150% year over year, which are our highest margin channels with strong retention mechanics. Retail for us right now is set up as low risk learning. So we're on Ulta.com as a dropship partner. This allows us to test demand without a giant upfront PO. Credo is launching in January, and we have a new partnership with Woodhouse Spa, which has hundreds of doors landing in Q1. We've been covered by Goop, Allure, we've won over 10 beauty awards, and we get a lot of organic celebrity mentions from folks like Halle Berry and Drew Barrymore. Operationally, we run lean, and we are building a new AI hub that's in development that will automate roughly 80% of our back office, including SKU forecasting and buys, customer service routing with a living knowledge base, and cohort LTV insights that can tune our offers and deploy into infinite email flows. This means we'll have fewer stockouts, less dead inventory, faster cash cycles, and no hiring sprawl. Economically, our hero SKUs run 75 to 80% gross margin. Our blended margins are around 70% overall, and it's improving as our mix shifts to D2C and Amazon. Our ecosystem is built for repeat, LTV, and lean growth. We're raising $1.5 million. We have 750K already wired, and we are going to continue to scale this high margin channel with discipline, speeding our path to profitability. If you believe the bathroom is overdue for a true wellness upgrade, Esker is how we build it, one body plane, shower, steamer, and yes, bubble bath at a time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg and Shannon. Okay, we'll leave 2 minutes here for our investor panel.
Hey guys, great to see you again. Can you talk about conversion for like what initial purchase looks like? You mentioned sort of like using the plane as the wedge into the bathroom in the first place, and then sort of downstream products for repeat purchase. Can you talk about sort of like what initial purchase, whether it's bundled, whether you're seeing plane first and then conversion, and then sort of like what repeat looks like if there are like hero products on the sort of like repeat purchase side?
Yeah. So we intentionally drive the top of funnel with products that are both driven by discovery, like the tools, which are a one-time purchase, but our best-selling SKU is a set that has the tool and the oil. You need an oil to use the tool properly. You can use any oil, but obviously we prefer that you use our oil. So we run most of our top of funnel ads on this $85 set. We have a really strong margin, and this is our lead-in to the rest of the product. So we know that with this product, if we sell them this set, we have a 20-30% chance that they will come back and buy oils. On the repeat side of the business, we have our other top of funnel product is this, which is these are called shower steamers. I don't know if you guys know what they are, but they're kind of like a aromatherapy experience in the shower. So we sell this set. It comes in a marble holder. Sorry for the Instagram nail tapping. And we sell refills. So as soon as you buy the set, then you can buy different refills. We have 4 different scents. So we try really hard to, with the uniqueness, we have a lot of innovative products, get people in and then get them repeating on the oils and the shower steamers.
And giving gifts.
Any other questions?
Cool. Great.
I'll ask one. Great to see you both.
Hi.
You mentioned pivoting more towards direct to consumer and Amazon, and it looks like you're planning to use some of the funds towards marketing. What are some of the pivots that have helped drive those channels over the past year?
Really, really narrowing down the funnel, precision funnel. So really understanding like how we can achieve our blended CAC across channels. And also understanding that our funnel is different on Amazon versus D2C. So we're finding those nuances and we are able to maintain these really low CACs. And so I think understanding each channel, we've also brought in together, to someone's point about AI and really having to understand all the data, we've brought all of our paid channels under one roof so that we can understand. We're not concerned about how much we're spending on this channel or that channel. We just want to keep our CAC within where we need to be profitable on the first purchase. So playing around a lot with those channels and looking at like, where it makes sense. It might make sense to, for example, do some advertising on Pinterest that goes into Amazon because that click-through is 10% higher than advertising on Pinterest and sending it to D2C. So we're doing a ton of testing within our funnel.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Shannon and Greg. Great questions. Really appreciate it. Okay, we're now going to launch the poll and intro request. We'll leave that up for 20 seconds and then let people gather their thoughts here. I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, next up we have Holy Water.
That's me. I'm BJ McCaslin. I appreciate everyone being here today. I am a co-founder and CEO of Holy Water. We are closing out our seed round, looking to close another $500,000, which will be a 10% equity stake at this point in the game. I've been a beverage and hospitality entrepreneur since 2004. I've been blessed to be named Beverage Innovator of the Year by my peers and by VEB Coca-Cola in 2013 and 2017. So what we created here was we saw a white space, and Holy Water is a ketone energy drink that does not use caffeine. We're in month 14 of our execution with $400,000 in LTM, and our route to market's been really, really deliberate. We've created successful retail purchases, same store velocities, and organic sales online. We're sold in over 100 venues as a non-alcoholic alternative, and now over 600 retail locations. We just began sales with Albertsons, strategically with KeHE in some regions as a broad line distributor. And now we're solidifying about 25 to 50 Anheuser-Busch and wine and spirits distributors like O-Pee-Chee and Southern Wine and Spirits to launch 2026. Ketones they're the ingredient of the future. There's only 5 companies in the world that are utilizing them right now. And with our proprietary formulas, we're allowing concert goers to soccer moms to tap into something that is an amazing product that gives you an unreal feeling that typically has been reserved for biohackers and endurance athletes. What we're going to do with the use of funds is we've done nothing in regards to paid advertising, and we want to lean in a little bit more to that. And then we also want to support our retailers and our distribution partners and make sure that what we're doing is creating depth in the market, gaining stomach share from a lot of these energy drinks that are out there, as well as the non-alcoholic market that we all know is booming. That's really where we're at right now. Super stoked to hear your questions, and I'm very comfortable, seeing a lot of the same faces on this call. So I appreciate everyone's time.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll open it up to our investor panel here.
I'd say ketones is kind of where the general adaptogenic drink space was a couple of years ago, like really rising, getting very popular. What are you doing in this initiative to kind of build yourself as the brand? Like what's your plan for that?
I mean, you're exactly right, Brandon. Where we're at, I just had a dinner at NACS and I sat next to Michael Brandt, right, who runs Ketone IQ, who puts $1 million of marketing into, month by month. So for us, we're making it more sessionable. Our route to market, going in with the buyers from Legends, going into these different venues and being able to be featured not just on the shelf and the counter as an ingredient that most people are taking. So for us, we have some amazing innovation also. Obviously, we're going to go into the shots. We have some stick packs that are going to bring a different, expand our demographic. They're going to be ketones and collagen, ketones and creatine, ketones and hyaluronic acid, and really, really beautiful boxes. So for us, we want to be a household name with regard to what the exogenous ketone is. And to be very transparent, we are changing the name from Holy Water to something to be a little bit more digestible to the retail market. It was cool on premise. I started it as a positive affirmation of liquid death. I want the retailers to make sure that they can put open arms around us. So we're working with Paula Grant from 9C. She does all the Rapoli, all the Lance Collins stuff. She joined on a month ago, and she's rebranding it for us right now.
Great. We have time for another question.
I'll ask one. Thanks, Brian. Good to see you. I love how you mentioned possibility of energy drink, alcohol alternative, concert goers, soccer moms. With your sales so far and what you've tested, who is your customer? And what's really worked with marketing? I know you've mentioned you haven't done a ton of paid, but from what you're seeing to date.
We're seeing that person who's looking to take a drink off. So, and also that person who's looking for the health and wellness edge. So we're still seeing the organic purchase coming from the biohacker and the endurance athlete. But when we do put it in retail, now we're starting to get our demos and the liquid to lips with a wider demographic and people who aren't just, running 10 miles or biking around. So we're skewing up, I would say, more the younger 30s to the mid 40s crowd. But again, they're still focused on the biohack piece. And that's why for us, we just see so much upside in the health and wellness angle and bringing them to more people. And that's why I think our stick packs and our shots and again, the sessionability of these 4, we just came out with these 4 SKUs literally like 3 months ago. And we utilize about 100 different salespeople that just sell on their own. And we're getting about $30,000 a month just off of that. So we think that we can get the mom in some point in time, but we're not there yet.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan. Okay, we're gonna launch the Holy Water poll and intro request now. I will do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Thanks, everyone. Okay, next up we have Saint. You're on mute.
Yeah, no problem. Just figuring out remembering how to share.
That's it.
All right, you got us. Okay.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda Henson, and next to me is my co-founder, Alex. Nearly 10 years ago, I met Alex working at WeWork, and that's where we built our creative friendship that has lasted ever since. After I launched the Indian market and Alex launched Brazil, we co-led the company's largest portfolio across Lower Manhattan and Brooklyn. That's where we learned the business of hospitality and experiential real estate from the inside out. After WeWork, while building startups, going to business school, and starting families, we spent our nights and weekends dreaming and eventually building Saint. Saint is a private sauna and ice bath experience for everyday use, and it's opening in Chelsea this December. Now, while building Saint, we realized two main things. The first is, like yoga, Saint sauna has arrived and is here to stay. Science, influencers, and wellness culture have led to this explosion of interest across the US. And two, saunas aren't meant to be used occasionally. People want them often, even daily. So what's the problem? Well, most bathhouses popping up around New York aren't built for ritual. A sauna rave is fun, but it is not an everyday thing. Morning meditation, pretty tough when people are making out next to you. And good luck finding a sauna that's open at 6 a.m.
Saint, on the other hand, is actually designed for ritual. 4 private suites, each with a sauna, ice bath, rain shower, and all within a personal space where every material, product, and detail is considered. We're really bringing hotel-level hospitality and bathhouse magic, but powered by the technology and convenience of boutique fitness. 1-hour sessions, easy booking, simple memberships, long hours. It's sauna and ice bath perfected through this singular focus. And this focus is not just great for the user experience, but also for the business too. Each Saint location is small, like 1,000 square feet, can run on just 1 or 2 staff and deliver margins above 40%. It really is an ideal amenity for residential or office landlords who will actually pay us to operate a Saint. Our first location is nearly 50% funded by the landlord who owns the residential building upstairs. And that deal was done before we even had a deck or a dollar raised. We are now 2 months from opening this first location in Chelsea. It's the result of an amazing collaboration with operators, developers, and designers. We've raised $875,000 from venture capital, family offices, and friends. And we're opening one room for one final investor to join us now as we scale from 1 location to 10 and beyond. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Saint team. Okay, we will open it up to investor questions from our panel.
You guys talk about build out cost and sort of like break even membership levels. I know the build out cost has been a challenge for some others who may have launched in the space in the past.
Yeah, one of the reasons we like this model is you couldn't have a smaller footprint. So with only 1,000 square feet, it is a complicated build out in the sense that there's plumbing and we're doing a kind of high level finishes. But because the space is so small, we're sort of contained and you know things really can't get out of hand. And so we'll be around 800,000 sort of all in with hard and soft. which again is a good price to build something in New York City. And then what's exciting is that it's really light to operate it because it's so small. There aren't any additional services like contrast as to a Remedy Place or a lot of these other wellness studios where all of their OpEx is going to like nurses to do IV drips, and they need a lot of space for cryotherapy and all sorts of things. And we have the core product that people really want, and it's easy to operate it, and we can just focus on cleanliness and service.
Cool, thanks.
A lot of what has been driving the upswing for places like Othership and Remedy is some of the social experience of it. So one, what was the insight that made you think that is not what people want when that seems to be driving all the other businesses? And what is the cost of a single session?
Yeah, I'll start. The insight, Alex and I are sauna lovers. We've loved it for a long time. We're solving this problem for ourselves. And the insight is what we realized is the sauna rave, the other ships of the world, very cool. I love it. I don't go, and what I find is that other people don't make a ritual of it. They're not going to another ship class every day. It's kind of like a lot. So the insight was, who are the users? And the users were often 1 or 2 people, small groups, that were going to experience something together. When you had one person going, trying to like zen out or meditate, they were disrupted by the people that are there as a group talking next to them. When you go as a group, you feel self-conscious for disrupting the person that's next to you trying to meditate. And so the insight was, hey, yes, this is a social thing, but it doesn't have to be in a 60-person sauna. You and your partner or you and your 2 girlfriends before brunch can go do this together privately and still experience the social aspect, just in a more intimate setting, a more safe setting. And by the way, if you are alone, you can do this naked.
Yep. Also, we've talked to so many people, of course, in the last few years through this process, and we've heard so many times like, oh yeah, I want a sauna, because now people are hearing about it. It's well beyond the Hubermans now, but sort of everybody wants a sauna, and they're like, I would never go to another ship, or I would never go to bathhouse, because for a lot of people that is too much. It's actually not appealing. So there is a crowd and they have an amazing sort of thing going on, but there's so many people we think are being left on the sidelines because that just doesn't, speak to them to be in your bathing suit in a room of 100 people.
Thank you, Saint team, and thanks everyone. All right, we're going to launch the poll and intro requests.
Thanks, guys.
Founders are not allowed to score themselves 10. We know who you are.
We're just joking.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Thanks, Saint. Next up, we have Smooth Commerce.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Go ahead, Brian.
All right. Thank you, Peter, and hello, everyone. My name is Brian Deck, and I'm the CEO of Smooth Commerce. I want to start with a question. How many of you have used your phone this week to order food for pickup or delivery? The answer is probably not all of you, but definitely most of you. In 2024, 6 out of 10 Americans ordered food digitally. Out of $1.5 trillion in food sales, $800 million of those orders were digital. Those numbers are massive and still growing. What's also massive are the commissions that restaurants pay to marketplaces. Uber, DoorDash, and Grubhub charge billions of dollars in fees every year. 25 to 30% commissions are crippling for restaurants, especially now that such a large share of their sales are going through digital. But there is a better way, and it's the restaurant's own app and website, what we call first-party ordering. And Smooth Commerce is a leader in the space. We power restaurant brands across the US and Canada, and we're now expanding globally. Our clients have access to outsourced delivery drivers through our partners that make digital ordering more cost-effective. But this isn't just about saving money for restaurants. When restaurants own the customer relationship, they boost frequency, basket size, and engagement. We work with fast food chains across many categories: pizza, coffee, burgers, bowls, and more. Our revenue is in the millions, growing 40% year over year, and we're now profitable. Our platform serves over 1 million users, has processed more than $200 million in sales for our clients. And that's just the start. One of the world's largest companies approached Smooth Commerce and asked us to better help them to better manage their corporate meal ordering. They have 170,000 employees. They purchase $200 million a year in food. And using our app platform and our marketplace partners, they have access to now over 400,000 restaurant locations across the USA. The corporate meal ordering segment is a greenfield opportunity, and it's in the process of transforming our business, future sales, and valuation. For those of you who want to be part of what's next in digital ordering, whether you're a restaurant chain, a large corporation, or an investor looking for a great opportunity, reach out. We'd love to connect. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Brian. You can stop your screen sharing. Thank you. All right, investor panel. Questions?
Is, some of this is owned workforce, et cetera, from the way that some of the larger delivery platforms are used, but why haven't we seen office or apartment building ordering, like grouped ordering, take off for some of the existing players?
It is actually quite a big portion of what Uber, DoorDash, and Grubhub are doing. And there's also ezCater in the market that does a massive amount of corporate ordering. It's a great question because in actual fact, the user experience is not what the corporate ordering and group ordering is really supposed to be or what it should be. So that's what makes it a greenfield.
Got it. Thank you.
Time for one more.
You mentioned that you're trying to pivot more into this corporate meal ordering segment. You have a company that's approached you. How much of the team or technology that would be needed to support that use case is designed?
Thanks, Zoe. Great question. We've actually been investing in our marketplace platform technology for about 2 years now. So it's not at the beginning, we're just about to launch it. To answer your question about percentage, corporate ordering is now making up 30% of our revenue, and we expect it to be doubling year over year at least. In terms of how much of our staff is required to kind of bifurcate between restaurant and hospitality and corporate ordering, currently none. We're actually using the same platform across both channels. We will be adding some dedicated salespeople and support people for the corporate channel as we bring on more customers.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate everyone. Okay, we're going to launch the poll now. An intro request. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Thanks, Brian. All right, we're heading toward the finish line here. We're going to finish strong here. We got four companies left. So next up is Something Southern. Roy, whenever you're ready.
Hey everyone, I'm Roy Warren, co-founder and CEO of Something Southern Spirits. We are the passion project of a team of whiskey, beverage, and marketing veterans who've built, launched, and grown some of the most recognizable names in the beverage and CPG space. Something Southern is our love letter to the artistry of blended whiskey and the best of Southern hospitality. We're building a brand around connection, craftsmanship, and community. We set out to make a whiskey that leans into the artistry and pedigree of the blenders we've assembled, resulting in a product with unique value to retail consumers and the on-premise. It's artisanally crafted by whiskey lovers for whiskey lovers. 2 significant shifts have taken place that open white space in the market for us. First, you've got this massive population migration to the Southeast, people with discretionary income fleeing big city life and chasing that Southern lifestyle where authenticity, warmth, and connection resonate. At the same time, a generation of whiskey drinkers have grown up. Their palates are evolving and they're looking for quality without pretense or excessive cost. That's exactly where Something Southern excels. We deliver the craftsmanship and depth you'd expect from a $70 or $80 bottle, but at a $38 price point. That makes us a whiskey that can sit proudly on the top shelf as well as the back porch as a daily drinker. It's a premium experience that's accessible. That combination makes it incredibly sessionable, and we believe a high velocity offering both on and off premise. With my co-founder being one of the most trusted and followed voices in whiskey, our launch doesn't start from zero. We already have a built-in loyal audience of whiskey enthusiasts, industry partners ready to post, pour, and promote our brand. Additionally, our sales leader and master distiller have a combined 100 years of experience, joining us from name brands such as Brown-Forman, Wild Turkey, etc. We're currently raising a 2.2 million seed round as a safe to build on the momentum we've already initiated. Our current rollout targets 200 to 250 accounts across Palm Beach County and Tampa by the end of the year. Those accounts will be a balanced mix of bars, restaurants, retail partners, and chains. We're also rolling out a direct-to-consumer partnership with ReserveBar.com, which is the premier direct-to-consumer platform in the category. With our foundation, partners, and strategy, we believe Something Southern is poised to scale rapidly and deliver a 6 to 8x revenue exit in the next 4 to 5 years. I'd love to dig deeper and explore you being a part of this journey of the brand. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Roy. Appreciate it. Okay, we're going to open it up to our investor panel.
So I know that there's a lot of data on the dropping numbers of drinkers. I think it was we're down 28% year over year on who's drinking, and I saw that I think Diageo shut down their venture arm because they're going to focus on the more high-end liquors and whiskeys now. So I like the promise of it's a super high-end liquor because that's where it seems things are going, but you're going to sell it at a low price point. So you're going to be competing against the tastes of these high-end whiskeys, but the perception will be that it's a low-end whiskey with the price point. So how do you convince that high-end drinker that it is a high-end drink, even though it is priced to where they would expect it?
So that's a really great question. So two things. The data you're referring to actually isn't what the data says. What the data says is we've had a correction post-COVID because we're back at pre-COVID levels. If everybody drank the way we did in COVID, I think we'd all have a big problem. So it's been a correction. Our offering is not a low-end offering, right? We're $35 to $40. That's still considered premium, and that sector of the category is actually growing regardless, faster than it ever has. And to your point, our ability to communicate with the consumer is in large part because of Gavin and the network of people we've assembled. I have an incredible group of partners that I've curated over 10 years, and without them, this wouldn't make as much sense. So it's the team and their platform and their relationships that will get trial, and then the product is great. And liquid to lips is how you build lifelong consumers.
Yes, to that last point, you talk about sort of go-to-market strategy, whether it be sort of like on-shelf food service, like back bar versus like heavy sampling campaign in bottle shops and liquor stores, kind of, to your point, like getting people to trial, especially in spirits, is a key component. How are you thinking about approaching that?
So that's a really good question. The answer is we throw the kitchen sink at it. So what's really important for us on a rollout is that we develop a really strong VPO or velocity per outlet story. And we want to develop strong foundations in every sector or every channel of the business, because to be honest, we don't know what opportunities are going to arise, right? If Total Wine and Whole Foods come to us a year and say, hey, we want to take you nationwide, I want to see your retail chain data. Great, we have to have a successful velocity proof of concept. If the Darden network, for example, comes to us and says, hey, we want to scale you within our system, then we need to have a strong proof of concept in that channel as well. So we know the brand is going to grow and evolve. My responsibility over the next year is to make sure that the foundation is as strong as possible, so we're in a position to act on these opportunities that arise rather than have to say yes because we need revenue or whatever. We want to build a strong foundation so that we're acting rather than reacting, if that makes sense.
Great. Thanks, Roy. Thanks, team. Okay, we're going to launch the Something Southern poll now. We'll give people 20 seconds here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Thanks, Roy.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Elixir. Floor is yours.
Did you want me to do side-by-side sharing, or is this okay?
Up to you. Dealer's choice.
Okay. I'm Brendan Kavanaugh. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Elixir Distribution. We make botanical alternatives to nicotine, alcohol, and over-the-counter medications. I started the business with my best friend of 40 years. We both lost our fathers to lung disease from smoking, and I'm sober from alcohol. So we're on a mission to help people get healthy and stay healthy. Our flagship products are actually what we call personal diffusers. So this is the Botanica line. These are 3 of the Botanica, and this is Apothecary. These are basically, we created the alternative vape category a few years ago. Botanica is an alternative to nicotine that's based on green tea, yerba mate, kava, and burdock. We have that in 5 flavors. It's all natural and organic. It's really the safest thing that you can inhale. And it's regulated as aromatherapy. So we have a very strong market advantage over nicotine vapes that are being sort of regulated out of the market. Our Apothecary line is really about the 5 things you need every day to stay healthy or be healthy. That's energy, something for cold and allergies, something for sleep. We have a libido enhancer, and we have Bliss, which is good for anxiety. So the real disruptive innovation here, and with Botanica, is we've more than doubled the efficacy of herbal supplements. So when you take a pill, it's 30 to 40% effective. When you inhale something, as long as you're comfortable with inhalation, it is 90+% effective. It's also instant, more highly bioavailable. There's a rapid onset. In developing the formulas, we came to find out that our Bliss formula is actually a very good alcohol alternative. So we use kava and yerba mate. You might have seen products on the market like Feel Free, where they use kava and kratom. Kratom is sort of being, also regulated out of the market. So we stick with only herbs that are generally recognized as safe and effective by the FDA. But we're expanding into this space with our squeezer products that'll allow you to squeeze kava and yerba mate into a non-alcoholic beer, a mocktail, or a sparkling water. Pretty good traction. We've sold almost $1 million worth of our vaporizer products. We're in the largest tobacco retailer in the country, smoker friendly. So we're in the belly of the beast trying to help people get healthy. We have a very large distributor in downtown LA called LAX Distribution that has access to about 50,000 retail stores nationwide, and they're high margin consumable products, 50% at wholesale, 80+% at retail. We just took an investment from Level Up, so we're leveling up our D2C presence, which is going to help with our online. And then we've done a wellness market test with Simply for Life in Canada, which is kind of like a mini Whole Foods. And we're looking to expand our channel and build on top of the channel with new products. Looking for a seed investment of $2 million. We have an $8 million safe with an $8 million cap.
Thanks, Brendan. We're at time. Thank you. We're gonna have our panel speak. Ask any questions.
Thanks, Brendan. I'm curious, you mentioned you're looking to expand with new products. What sort of product innovation do you have next on your roadmap?
The next thing on the roadmap are the alcohol alternatives. So the vaporizers are really alternative. Let me see if I can turn off my blur. Yeah, so this is what we call a tonic squeezer. It's kava and yerba mate, and the beautiful thing is it actually uses the same herbal extracts that we put into our vaporizers. So now we can put them into multiple formats. We're also working on pouches. We're working on gummies. So taking more of a multi-format approach. And that helps us with perception issues around, some people are comfortable with inhalation and some people aren't. That's the most effective way if you're comfortable with it. But we can also deliver these highly effective alternatives in other form factors. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Brendan, great to see you again.
Hey, Adam.
We've talked about this, but I think just for the group, I know one of the things we talked about was sort of stigma and sort of, reputation of vape after the Juul debacle a handful of years ago.
Yeah.
I think maybe just for the group would be great to hear sort of like from a scientific perspective, what you guys are doing different from a chemical perspective, like what it's bound to, how it impacts the lung.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think vaporizing nicotine is better than smoking cigarettes from a respiratory perspective, but much worse from a brain chemistry perspective. And so we want people to get completely off of nicotine. Nicotine patches, gums, all those other things. People just end up, using more of those than is healthy. So we mimic the effect with green tea, yerba mate, and kava, two stimulants and anti-anxiety herb. And then we do that with all natural ingredients. So we take an approach for safety similar to cannabis, where it's really about ingredients, good manufacturing process, testing. So we test the emissions to know for sure that there's nothing harmful in there. And then we try to position it as an antidote to the nicotine vaping epidemic, because I've seen this happen. I've been around the industry. Kids are using them. They're now selling these vaporizers that have 50,000 puffs, and people are going through those in like a week or two. So it's just enormous amounts of nicotine that is damaging the brain. We're the antidote.
Thanks,
And
Brendan.
I will say one other
Yep.
thing is that cannabis, the most popular way to use cannabis, which is a medicinal herb, is vaporization.
Thanks,
I
Brendan.
think
Thanks,
Brandon
team.
had a question, Peter, but if you got to keep going, okay.
Yeah, we have to keep moving things here.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Great
Thanks,
question.
Brendan. We're going to launch the poll now. We give it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Give me a 10.
Great. Thanks, Brendan.
Did all right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Peter.
We're down to the final two here. Next up is Windy City.
Hi, can you hear me fine?
Yep.
Thanks, Peter. I'm Guy Furman. I'm CEO and founder of Windy City Mushroom. We are a vertically integrated organic mushroom producer in Chicago, Illinois. We have a diversified sales model that includes wholesale, retail, and CPG, and we are primarily focused on lion's mane and oyster mushrooms. Mushrooms are not new, so what do we do differently? The short answer is that our mushrooms grow on wood, unlike white button and community, which grow on manure. It's a completely different process, and we can't grow their mushrooms and they can't grow ours. The gourmet mushroom industry represents 2% of the US market, whereas it's 10% in Europe and 40% in Asia. So we feel there's a lot of room for growth domestically here in the US. The gourmet mushroom market is growing at 20% annually, but it lacks consistent suppliers capable of handling larger customers like retailers. While the main industry has grown large and reached commodity level pricing, gourmet mushroom market is full of smaller players producing at lower efficiencies. It's a lack of producers that limits the market, not demand. And that's kind of where we come in. We have designed and constructed a low-cost next-generation facility here in Chicago that's capable of being replicated and scaled anywhere. We have 30 employees currently, including a full-time kitchen that produces our cooked product line. Over the last 2 years, we've grown sales from $50,000 a month to $200,000 a month. And we have the capacity here in the Midwest to grow it to $400,000 a month with this facility. We sell our fresh mushrooms in 300 stores in the Midwest, including Whole Foods. And we sell our frozen CPG product in 500 stores, including all 440 Sprouts via KeHE. Funkitarian, being a CPG product, uses our excess and less attractive oyster mushrooms to be cooked, sliced, seasoned, and frozen at our kitchen. We've got 5 flavors, such as barbecue, original, Asian zing, marinara, and taco. The net result is a vegan, ready-to-eat meat substitute that is designed to taste like flavors you know, not taste like mushrooms. The product is actually very good. It has its own legs on top of our fresh sales. The growth opportunities we have in front of us right now is that if we can open a facility in Nevada or Arizona, we can sell to our current customers, but their stores in California that we currently can't service, like Whole Foods and Sprouts. From there, we can replicate our model and sell to additional retailers and wholesalers and continue to sell our CPG products. The California market is 3 times the size of our Midwest market. We also want to increase our sale of Funkitarian to other retailers around the country through marketing. So far, we've had a $0 marketing budget. And we'd like to break into the food service industry with cafeterias and school systems as a meat alternative, which is oftentimes required by law to be on the menu at this point. Currently we've raised $300,000 out of a total of $2 million. $500,000 that is dedicated to marketing budget. $1 million is dedicated to the new facility. $400,000 that is dedicated to operating it. And we've got about $100,000 in improvements we'd like to do right here in Chicago now.
Great. Thanks, Guy. We're going to open it up to our investor panel here.
Let's say from a competitor landscape perspective, you mentioned the way you grow versus competition, but head to head in terms of how you grow, what does the competitive landscape look like? And those soil-based mushrooms, you know, when they go to distribution, what's the difference in product quality? So what generally competitive landscape?
Well, the competitive landscape for us is really the other gourmet producers, because I said that they're kind of uniquely, they grow gourmets or you grow white button. You don't usually do both. There's a company in the Bay Area called Far West Fungi. They do 1.5 billion pounds per year, and they don't even leave the Bay Area. It's all Northern California for them. There's one called Mycopia that's in Upper Michigan. None of these guys have. Our idea is to create regional production centers to reach the entire U.S. because you just can't ship these that far. It doesn't make sense logistically. So the market we're targeting first is California. We don't want to be in California. We want to be in a nearby state. We'll find a warehouse available. But the bottom line is that's its own industry. It's separate from the regular soil-based, as you called it, and it's own independently because the technology is completely separate.
How do you think about balancing like meat alternative versus functional? You know, obviously there's been a huge amount of conversation around mushrooms and the positive impact that they can have. Like, how do you guys think about positioning from a, you know, like a hook case for the consumer here?
Well, if you try the product, everyone likes Fungitarian because it actually tastes really good. You don't even know you're eating mushrooms, as I mentioned. The flavoring we chose to be very appealing to a broader audience. Now, the thing about the medicinal side of the mushroom industry is generally powders that people are buying and just marketing. There's no standards in that industry, so we've avoided entering it. It's just about marketing dollars. So we don't really have a competitive industry market in that industry, but creating fresh products, because you can't bring those in from China or anything else, we can compete regionally and across the US. Like I said, our model is to do 5 of these across the US long term and get larger contracts like Target, Trader Joe's, those kind of larger consumers.
Great. Thanks, Guy. Thanks, panel. We're going to launch the poll and intro request now. Give people 20 seconds. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, Guy. Appreciate it. Last but not least, we have Clearwater to take us home.
Last but not least, thank you, Peter. Well, good afternoon, Sharks. My name is Leighton Allen, and today I am seeking 1.2 million of investment via convertible note for our company, Clearwater Wellness Co. At Clearwater, we've proudly built the world's first thermoelectric ice bath. It's called the Snowcat. And I'm going to start with a little story on why the Snowcat could be an interesting investment for you and how we think it's poised to disrupt a rapidly growing wellness trend. So the story, I'm going to wind us back to 2023, mid-2023, and touching on something that Brandon mentioned off the top. I was a founder going through a deeply stressful period. I was exiting a business to a PE firm whilst trying to run that company and be the best dad I could be at the same time. The reality is I crashed, but I needed to keep going. I needed an edge. And that edge came in the form of cold plunging or cold water therapy. It caught me by complete surprise that the benefits cold water therapy gave me. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, I was just better at every turn. If you're a cold plunger, you'll know what I'm talking about. The problem was the plungers that I was purchasing had issues. Issues like I couldn't control the temperature of the water. It was a drowning hazard for my little kids in the backyard. It was emitting harmful gases into the environment. It was terribly noisy and it was challenging to set up. So I teamed up with a couple of my buddies, my co-founders, Matt, a medical doctor, and Max, a Silicon Valley engineer. We come up with a solution to solve our problems. The Snowcap was born. The Snowcap is a lid that can sit on top of existing ice baths or be paired with our range of tubs. As you can see here, it cools the water from 34 degrees Fahrenheit to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. It's beautifully aesthetic. It's patented. And we were really stoked because it solved all our problems. But that didn't mean it was going to be a viable business. We tested it on the open market, seeking market validation. We started on Indiegogo and did 400K of pre-sales in our first month. We then went to Shopify and did 100K in 1 week on Shopify. To us, that was market validation. So we're seeking the 1.2 million of funds for to complete tooling, our first manufacturing run, and to fund our really bold growth ambitions. We've got really healthy margins at 65%, and we're completing this round by a convertible note to get it done quickly. So I look forward to the questions from the right investors, and look forward to bringing you on board to take the plunge with us. Cheers.
Thanks, Layton. Okay, we're going to open it up to our panel.
Thank you very much for that. How much did you say you're selling it for, and where did the pre-sales predominantly come from?
Thanks, Zoe. We're selling it for $4,000 US, and pre-sales predominantly come in the US, but we do have sales in Europe and Asia, and those sales have actually led to licensing opportunities as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about the design manufacturing timeline? Where are you in the process, and who on your team, is leading that one experience? Do they have bringing a sophisticated product through tooling and into market?
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. So we're at the tooling phase. We've completed the prototyping, and Max, the engineer, is the gentleman most experienced in that.
What do you think about sort of like buyer base compared to other cold plunge options on the market? Obviously, you have your super high end, kind of like $10,000 to $20,000 build out, like full unit. You have, a couple $100 for a cooling unit that you attach to a tub. Kind of like talking about who the ICP is for this.
Yeah, I think Adam, that it is that mid-level range that you referenced. That's the persona of our pre-purchasers were busy professionals and those who already have an ice bath. So I think the lowest hanging fruit is those who already have an ice bath but experienced all the same problems that I referenced in my story. So to convert them, from their average product to a much better product at the same price point.
Thank you, Layton. Thank you, team. We're going to launch the poll now. Also, not to influence this in any way, but Layton is calling in from Australia. So cheers to being up early.
Thank you. I say good afternoon, but for me, it's good morning.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Thanks, Layton. Congrats to all the founders. Hopefully that was a fun experience for everyone. We appreciate you going on this journey with us. Thanks to all the founders, and congrats. I know they put in a lot of preparation and work. Thank you so much to our VIP panelists, Zoe, Brandon, and Adam. We really appreciate it. We want to thank everyone for participating today and being a shark. We will be sending a follow-up announcing the winners soon, so stay tuned. And our next showcase will be this summer in person as part of New York Tech Week in June. So we hope to see you all there and have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, everyone.